They've all been important in the past, but somehow they always seem to grow in stature with every encounter.
Well, it looks that way. We probably, nobody in Adelaide expected for us to meet in the first round, but that's how it's going to be, and it's going to be only place for one team.
Of course we can do it. I think that all the matches we play in the past, they've been...
Every clash so far this year, and in the overall record...
and other...
For the striker to be substituted when City won a corner in the 79th minute. Maxwell stayed on and he emerged the hero.
Will it be? Hero ending his horror stretch to score twice.
Classic and a classy counter-attack. Carl Viet delivering the killer blow in ruthless fashion.
In danger in today's semi-final at the Adelaide Oval.
But Matic still classes it as the league's best side during the minor round.
Meet Marconi in next week's grand final.
Third minute.
The league's most experienced player! At the moment, Mori comes through and it's there! That's all over now! Mori grabs his second goal of the game.
Today's win gives City the chance to win back-to-back premierships for the first time, and the showdown will be against glamour club Marconi.
Good morning, Adelaide City Soccer Club. Yes, we have arranged some chartered flights.
So far, about 6 buses are expected to make the 22...
Very appropriate, isn't it?
The paper and metres of sticky tape used in a... It's the team's mood.
We're not exactly...
Up for it with plenty of noise. Only as the first team coach, but Zoran Matic is also manager and a minder for Adelaide City. Nothing goes on that he doesn't know about, and he's a tough taskmaster. Getting into the grand final is a fine achievement in itself, but Matic is far from satisfied.
What took so long for Adelaide City to find form this year?
Who suggests we found the form? I mean, we haven't played to our ability probably yet. Regardless, today it's me, tomorrow will be somebody else. But if the players come and they rule the club, there's no club.
In grand final week, no one in the Adelaide camp dares get carried away with great expectations. Zoran doesn't tolerate people who stray from the team system.
And tomorrow's game will be Adelaide City's third grand final. They were victorious over 2 legs in 1986, and they won last season after a penalty shootout. 4-3, and they won the second round fixture 5-3 after at one stage being down 3-1. Marconi, they qualify for the grand final courtesy of a 2-leg defeat of South Melbourne. But Adelaide City have played 4 big finals matches. They won on the away goals rule against West Adelaide, defeated Wollongong 4-0 and accounted for South Melbourne 3-1 last week.
From the Adelaide City Juventus Junior Soccer Club. Come on, let's go to a born and bred Adelaidean, Carlo Taladera. Carlo, last year you missed out on playing in the final. You bringing yours? To a player that I've met only at the Olympics, and now we've been rooming together for some months now, Thomas. Obviously, I'm a great person. I just want to hear it from yourself now.
Oh, I've met a few better people than you, fella.
No, cut. No. Maxie, you're one of the hard men in the team.
Yes, Damian.
Being booked in the preliminary final, was that a major upset for yourself?
Well,
was a nerve-wracking Sunday, let's put it that way.
Why was that?
Well, it could have been the end of the season. I had to rely on you bunch to get us through, so, but you did well.
Thanks very much, Sheila.
Actually, before he goes, one question I'd like to ask you. I've always wondered, why did we call you Frogger?
I haven't worked it out myself yet. Alex Tobin, captain of Adelaide City. We're going to hear some words of wisdom from him.
What about?
About the game, about the team, about the spirit of the team, about everything.
Got to come up with a better question than that, come on.
About my house.
Your house? Obviously, it's going to be a hard one, but with a bit of luck, I'm sure we'll get there.
Obviously, I'm leaving the best to last. Obviously, we're coming into a hard game this Sunday. Any advice for the players?
Advice for you, you're not mature enough, and that rubs on the other people. I could see they're all surprised in your questions, especially you asked Maxie and Joy to retire. They're probably, do you think they think now you're reading my mind, or I told you something? No, they're not going to retire. They're going to keep playing. I'll give you the answer for them.
Oh. That wasn't my fault, Zoran. I'd like to be at the club next year, but...
The way you're going, you probably cut your stay short.
Thank you.
At Parramatta Stadium, you can get this special souvenir grand final shirt. Frank Spieser and some of his helpers will be there.
Australian soccer's one day of the year has been a disappointing one for Adelaide City fans. About 1,000 of them made the journey to Sydney for the final, only to see our boys go down 1-0 to Marconi. National 9 News reporter Deanna Cronin is there.
Adelaide City supporters will go anywhere to see their Chargers. One plane load of fans and 4 buses descended on Sydney this morning. Some were treated to arch-rival hospitality, lunch at the Marconi Club. They were so pumped up, who would guess they'd just spent 22 hours on a bus? The final showdown at Parramatta Stadium brought them east. Adelaide supporters made sure they were heard. Grand final nerves were evident on the faces of wives and girlfriends. For Caroline Tobin, this is the 3rd time she's seen captain and husband Alex play in a grand final.
Well, I'm feeling quite tense. Alex is quite relaxed. I feel the nervous part of all the suspense up to the game.
Adelaide City officials say about 800 people travelled to Sydney.
The City supporters, like their heroes, were on a mission. The roar from the black and white faithful was at times deafening.
All they wanted was a grand final victory, but it wasn't to be. A penalty in the early stages of the second half put an end to the dream of back-to-back championships. Adelaide City will return to Adelaide tonight, defeated but by no means disgraced. Deanna Cronin in Sydney for National 9 News.
Disappointment for City coach Zoran Matic, still seething over that penalty.
When you win, there's a little bit of satisfaction. A loser now has satisfaction.
Soccer's showpiece days. The grand final of the National Soccer League. Illegally taken into the game, started a fire in the grandstand at Parramatta Stadium.
Controversial loss to Marconi in the National Soccer League Grand Final. Despite the defeat, the players and their coach received a rousing welcome as they returned from Sydney.
They returned not as winners, but still heroes to their fans. In fact, the Zebras did have one victor on grand final day, man of the match medalist Milan Ivanovic. But that was cold comfort for a team that felt robbed.
No big games like this ever lost on controversial circumstances. We lost it, we have to take it, and if we can't take it, then we won't be any better tomorrow.
Marconi's penalty may have been questioned by just about everyone, impartial observers included, but that didn't ease the frustration.
We won by penalties last year and that didn't quite feel as good, and we lost by a bad penalty this time, so what can you do? It's either one way or the other.
One way or another, there was always going to be a party at Hindmarsh. That it wasn't a victory celebration didn't seem to worry the supporters, who showed their pride in a team that had fought against the odds.
We didn't expect this, maybe we didn't even deserve it, but you're here.
And with the cheers ringing in their ears, the players seem to be signing pledges to repay next season the faith their fans have shown. Tony Morabito, National 9 News.